I don't have any friends. The reason why is because, one, my wife and I just moved here, and two, we moved to Surrey. When I first got out of the car in Surrey, I looked at her and I said, wow, what an interesting smell Surrey has. It's because it's mulching season in September. And so everybody is putting compost and mulch on their lawns, and it smells lovely. All of the dust would settle on our car, and the windshield wipers would streak when they returned them on. And you should have seen the look on my face when I actually got on the train and was going out of Surrey into civilization, and I saw mountains of mulch and mountains of compost and all of the wind blowing the dust straight into Surrey, and that's when I realized that we were breathing shit. Luckily, I understand dust. And you see, what it is a hard particle that is light enough to float along on air currents, and it has to be 200 microns or less in mass. That means that if you plucked a hair out of your head for perspective and cut it in half, it would be about 100 microns in diameter. Just small enough to float on the air, but not too big to get past your natural defenses, mucus and cilia and things like that. So it's fine, but there are particles out there that are much smaller, and they're floating around you every day, especially if you live next to a demolition site or a cement factory or near a port where they have huge piles of like coal or petcoke or lime. Right? All of these substances have what's called silica. Silica is 0.1 micron, and it's a crystalline structure, so it's shaped sort of like this. And what it does when it gets into your lungs is it reaches out with its jagged arm and catches your lung, and then reaches out with its other jagged arm and catches the other piece of silica and builds until you have pneumoconiosis, otherwise known as black lung. Now, what they do in these industrial sites to take care of this is they have guys with hoses standing there spraying the piles. What this does is it's supposed to saturate the piles so that it holds the dust in. But that isn't what happens, because these hoses create these giant droplets. Droplets that are 200 to 10,000 microns in size. When they fall through the air, they create what's called the slipstream effect, which is kind of like what happens when air goes under an airplane wing to keep it aloft. So, the little particles get caught in the slipstream and they avoid them. Allow me to show you in an interpretive dance. I'm a little particle, and I'm floating through the air, ready to come and kill you. I'm a giant droplet flying through the air, looking for a particle to capture. And I'm a little particle. Oh no, here comes a droplet. Here comes a droplet. Slipstream effect. Yay, I'm free! Silica particles are actually taken aloft by this. But there's technology out there that takes care of this. It's called atomized mist. So you have water that is punched through a little specialized nozzle and creates a small droplet that is 15 microns to 200 microns, and it floats on the air with these particles. They collide, and their collective mass falls to the ground. Even if you breathe them, their collective mass is too big to go through your natural defenses. And this exists right now, and it can cover massive areas. So if you live near one of these industrial areas, all you have to do is call your legislator and say, hey, I know it's more expensive, but it's not more expensive than having a dude with a hose. So what have we learned today? 1, don't go to Surrey in September or you'll be breathing shit. 2, if you're my friend, I don't mind if you don't come and visit me. And 3, if you live in near one of these industrial areas, please be vigilant. Please watch your breath because that shit will kill you. Thank you.